Hey y'all, what's going on? What is going on, everybody? Hold on one second. Give me a second. Give me a second here. Let's get everything here straight. There we go. All right, there we go. I'm live, Rashida Strober, the world's first and only dark skinned activist. I am the creator, the inventor, the designer, the architect of the first platform in history for the eradication of colorism and darkism, dark skin discrimination. Yes, I created the first platform in the world to ever address this in 1998 and called it dark skin activism and called myself the dark skin activist. There's only one dark skin activist. There's not two, there's not three. In fact, dark skin activist is my brand name. Somebody calling me. Hold on, I think that's our sister. Hold on, give me a second. I got a special guest coming on today. Hold on one second. Okay. So that is she gonna come over here and she gonna talk, she gonna take it over. We gonna talk about her story. I'll talk a lot, but it's gonna be all about her today. But real quick, yes, I gotta give my introduction. I'm the reason anybody on YouTube, anybody on social media, anybody on reality TV. I'm the reason you talking about dark skin and colorism. You stole from my platform. You're not the dark skin activist. And yes, I'm talking to any female that's talking about dark skin. I'm talking to any female that's talking about colorism. You're not the dark skin activist. Yes, I said it. I said it. Started the platform in 98. Worked for years building it, and the platform consists of my books, my plays. My darkism talks about only dark skin. I'm the only one in the world that could say I've been doing this legit before there was social media. Along comes social media in 10, start to pop off. I brought the first colorism channel to YouTube, to the social media masses. I went viral in 2015 because of a post that I made about Kendrick Lamar in the act of doing my dark skin activism. Wasn't no contrived shit. I've been the dark skin activist. As a result, it went viral to millions of people. And Black people online was like, dang, they couldn't believe I was talking about colorism. What they started doing, they mocked me and then they started copying me. So any channel on YouTube you see talking about colorism and dark skin, they stole from me. I don't care how big or small they are. Any celebrity, reality TV star talking about colorism and dark skin, you got it from me. I've been a dark skin activist. Our sister is here, darkskinactivist.com. Hold on, Mahogany Roots is in the building, and I'm about to add her to the screen. Here we go.
Hi.
Hey,
how are you, my beautiful sister?
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Is it better? Uh-oh.
I know what it is.
Okay.
I know what it is, y'all. Hold on one second. This is why I be raising money for donations, y'all. I'm on a down laptop where I cannot hear. Y'all can hear me talking, but in order for me to hear y'all, I gotta put this in.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so hold on one second. Let me get back on the screen. I am going to let you take it away. Talk about your story. I'm gonna be, as you talking, I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you, but what I'm gonna do is be sharing my screen and promoting your website and everything that you're doing. So y'all ready? Take it away. Take it away. Give us your introduction and just talk to us about your story.
Okay. My name is Mahogany Roots, and my name is Tiffany. Tiffany Coaxum, and my brother was Christopher Freeman. On YouTube, I go by the name of Mahogany Roots and MJ. My son is MJ. On the morning of October 22nd, I got a call from my brother, my older brother, Nate. He was crying and he was frantic and he was screaming, "They killed him. They killed him." Said who? And he said, "Chris. They killed Chris. They killed Chris. Oh, they shot Chris." And I was on the phone trying to hold it together. Basically, I could hear the police in the background. Make sure that I'm not making any noise, but I could hear the police in the background talking to my brother. My brother came back on the phone and told me that to meet him at the hospital, that they were taking Chris, that Chris was at the hospital. So I was running up and down the steps. You guys bear with me. A very hard story for me to tell. I get emotional every time I tell it. But I was running up and down the steps telling my family, my son and his dad, y'all get ready. We got to go to the hospital. They're taking Chris to the hospital. As I'm going down the stairs about to go outside, there was a deputy at the door. And he asked me, do I know Christopher Freeman? And he asked me my affiliation with him. And I told him, yes, that's my little brother. And, he never said, it was always puzzling to me. He never said sorry for your loss or anything like that. He just continued to question me and ask me how I know him. And it got to the point where I asked, why are you asking me these questions? What happened? And he said to me, well, your brother's been in some kind of accident. He's at the hospital. You need to go see about him. So we went to the hospital and I remember rushing into the emergency room. I'm amazed that I made it there alive. I mean, I was running red lights. I was frantic on the road. I was. But basically, we got to the emergency room and I remember asking the receptionist, I'm here to see Christopher Freeman. And she said, well, we can't find him. I said, well, he's there. I just got a call stating that he was here. And she looked and she said, I'm sorry, I do not see a Christopher Freeman that was admitted today. And I said, well, it just happened. It happened a few hours ago. You got to look. He's here. She was like, well, maybe it just happened a little while ago. Is he being admitted? Maybe they haven't got to the hospital yet. So I waited around. And as I was waiting and crying in between, my older brother, Nate, was walking up to me. And when I tell y'all that I will never forget the look on my brother's face. First of all, let me tell you, I am the baby girl, but my brother that passed was the baby boy. My older brother, Nate, is the oldest of my mother's 3 kids. So for him, that look of fear, he looked scared. He looked like he was scared to tell me something. And he got close to me. And I was happy, actually. I was like, okay, finally something's going to get done because, Big Brother's going to come and handle it. And I said, well, they're saying Chris is not here. They're saying Chris is not here. And he said, yes, Tiffany, Chris is here. And I said, well, you need to tell them because they're telling me he's not here. And he said, Tiffany, Chris is here, but Chris is in the morgue.
Oh, my God.
Hospital, but he's where the deceased people go. So at that point, I just fell down to my knees and really felt like somebody just knocked the wind out of me.
Right.
Yeah, I'll never forget that moment ever. The look in my brother's face, my older brother, I knew something was wrong. For the police to come to me, I knew there was just so many things. But that was the moment that I realized he was actually gone. I'm going to rewind the story. Y'all be patient with me. I'm going to get some tissue.
No,
okay.
Take your time, sis. Take your time.
I'll be right back.
Take your time. While our sister is here getting the tissue, I want you guys to make sure you go to her channel. She's a wonderful person. Me and her have been friends for a minute here, and I can tell you that she is just amazingly awesome. I want y'all to make sure that you go to her channel and subscribe. I am putting her channel in the description. Please go and subscribe. I'm also pulling up her website. I just want to let you guys know I'm not ignoring her or ignoring y'all. The reason I'm kind of behind the scenes is because I want her to take over, tell her story, and I also want to promote everything that she's doing, including her website and including her YouTube channel. So that's what I'm doing right now, posting it, and I'm going to be showing it on the screen. And this sister is an amazing human being, because even out of all of that, you got some amazing stuff going on, which we're gonna get to. But I'm gonna shut up because I want you to explain to the people how all of this happened, especially in this climate of we just had Dante Wright pass away, get murdered by the police, George Floyd, and your brother, and I can see how you hurt by it, and my heart goes out to you, because I know that you are a really sweet, kind person. So can you just keep telling us what happened, because people need to hear this.
Yes. So that's when it all, like, my world just turned upside down. After that, after honestly, I kind of blacked out. I just remember crying uncontrollably. Couldn't even drive home. My son's father had to drive us home. I don't think I spoke to anyone else the rest of the day. Well, I spoke to my brother and his wife, and I spoke to my mom a little bit. That's another part of the story. So let's rewind and let me tell you what was going on at this time. About 2 to 3 weeks prior, my mother had a stroke. My little brother, the only one that lives with my mom. My mom is in her 70s now, but she has health issues, and basically she had a stroke, and she was in recovery at a rehabilitation center when all this happened. The night before, yes, the night before, my mom spent the day together, because even though she was in recovery, she could have hours out visiting with us. And so we had spent the day together, and she said, Tiff, take me to the house. I want to get a change of clothes. And I took her there, and my little brother was there. Now, my little brother was in a great mood. One of the best of them. He had just gotten a job, making decent money. He was like in a really good mood. So we ended up going back to the rehabilitation center that night. This is hours before his actual death. And I remember myself asking him, I said, Chris, why don't you go ride with us? And then I also remember this weird feeling of wanting to stop back by the house. I do not know why. I do not know why I had that feeling. But I didn't do it. And that's why I always tell people, if you've got like an aching urge to check on somebody, do it while you can. It might be something. Yeah, it might be something trying to warn you of something. So it was that morning that basically the police are saying that they found him dead behind the back of a police precinct. Now, when my brother called, let's go to what they're saying. They're saying that they found him dead back of the police station, that he was parked awkwardly, and that they saw the gun go off. None of this makes sense. The police, first of all, let's deal with the actual facts, which is that my brother and my mom live in a reasonably good area, and the precinct, first of all, to get to that police precinct, it's like at least 15, 20 minutes away. He would have had to have passed several other police stations to get to that police station. It did not make sense. Not only that, Rashida, is that we literally know nobody on that side of town. We asked his friends if they knew anybody on that side of town. Nobody. We cannot figure out why he was over there. Right. So there were several holes in their story. In the police report, one of the police officers said that he was parked strange and they didn't see anybody in the car. The next police officer said, oh, well, we saw somebody in the car. That's why we approached the car. So which one is it? Also, the evidence is not matching what they're saying. So if my brother was in the driver's seat, the weapon that he had has a long barrel. So I you got to forgive me. I'm jumping all over the place,
No,
but
no, no. Take your time. It's
there's
your
a lot of
story.
details to this story. I'm telling y'all what the police said. So the police saying that he killed himself with his own gun.
The police said he killed. I'm sorry, my sound was cutting out. You said the police said he killed himself with the gun.
In the back of a police precinct. They told me this is what they were trying to get the family. Are. They were telling us, oh, that he was suicidal and that he committed suicide. And this is often what people who commit suicide do because they want to be found. So you're trying to tell me that people who want to be found pull out their license, registration, and permission to carry and put it in the passenger side of the vehicle just so they could be found and
Mm,
drive halfway across town?
that
This
don't make
makes
a
no
lot of sense.
it
It
don't make
doesn't.
any sense. So this is what their story was versus we believe to be true. Um, Let me just tell you guys a little bit about my brother, one of the best human beings that I've had the pleasure to know. And um, I really can't tell you how hurt I was, not just because he's my brother, but because he was almost like it was almost like losing a child. I'm 13, almost 14 years older than my brother. I took care of him. I babysat him. I wiped his behind. I fed him. So this was really a loss for me.
Mm.
Um, he was kind. And Rashida, if we got time, I know you got to go, and I expect this will not be too long. But I actually was on the phone with a couple of his best friends.
Mhm.
Um, One of them is willing to come on and talk to you whenever, if not now, another time.
Oh, absolutely. We can do that. I'll make time because I really care about your story, and this is tragic. I mean,
Yes.
it sounds to me like it is a cover up. It's a young black male, and we know that the police, they don't care about young black males. But yes, absolutely. If you just tell me how to send the link out, I'll gladly bring them on.
I would. That's the thing. I only know them through, but I could share the phone audio with you guys. So, um, Chris was just a really good kid, straight up and down. When I tell you no lie, one of the most innocent. He was one of those people that really didn't live his life because he was like so protected and guarded. Just a kind individual. I have been working behind the scenes on doing a documentary, interviewing his friends and neighbors, people at the church, everybody had nothing but good things to say about him, just how kind he was and well mannered and how he would help. He would cut my mom's grass and cut the neighbor's grass because she was there. He would cut her grass too. He was just a
Mm.
really kind individual. Um, so I just want to say that first and foremost. The police, when after all this stuff went down, my brother, his wife, and my family, we decided that we were not going to thank
Oh, that's so sweet.
you.
Sweet.
We decided, that was my fiance. You met him before, Rashida. But we
Yes.
decided that we were not going to tell my mom because we weren't sure she could handle it.
Right.
She had already had complications, stroke, her blood pressure. They had on a lot of medicine. She had an emergency where her blood pressure had dropped below. And so we just did not want to risk her life in any type of way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we didn't tell her no. All this is going on, and it was at least another 3 days before we, um, which was hard. It was hard to talk to her and act like everything was normal. And my heart was breaking. It was really hard. I actually had to kind of sometimes not answer her call because I just couldn't deal with it.
Mm.
And
Right.
Yeah, I could not deal with talking to her because she'd say, "Did you check on your brother? Did you see if he needs anything? Tiffany, why don't you go check on your brother, see if he needs anything to eat? Uh, tell him, go get your brother, Tiffany. Tell him, tell him I want to, it's been a few days and he hasn't visited me at the hospital."
Oh my God.
Yeah. So,
So he's passed away,
and she doesn't,
thinking that he's still. Oh man.
just because of the fact that she was recovering from the stroke,
Right.
very weak at the time. So, on top of all this stuff, found out that the police had went to the house and ransacked my mother's house. Now, their reasoning behind this was, uh, they were concerned, basically, after they found my brother dead. According to them, they were concerned that something had happened to my mom, so they went to the house to look for her. Of course, she was in rehabilitation, so she wasn't there and wasn't able to answer.
Right.
Um, because they broke in the house without a warrant, it sent off an alarm to my mom. My mom had ADT,
Oh
and
God.
they called her immediately at the facility, and so something, and so it got to the point where we had to. So this was going on, and then we started trying to put our heads together and figure out, okay, there's holes all over their story. Nothing. Why are you breaking into my mother's house? Well, what we believe is that when they found out that my brother had a license, I don't think my brother, and when you guys speak to his close friends, you guys will see what I'm saying. They know Chris. He was literally a goody good two shoes. He would never, he knew better than to drive around with a gun in the car, with a loaded gun in the car. If anything, it would be in the trunk. And he never took it, according to his best friend, he would never take it outside of the house unless they were going to the range. His best friend is in the military and they would go to the range together. And Chris would refuse to carry that gun in the car. So it's a lot of stuff that they're saying, just knowing based on my brother's personality, it just didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
It just did not match up. So they said they were worried about my mother. My mom has a dog, a Yorkie that barks uncontrollably. So they saying their excuse is that they heard the dog barking and my mom didn't answer and they were concerned and all this and that. What we believe is that was their opportunity. Saw that he had his license to carry and everything out in the front seat for them to go back in their house and get his weapon and say, "Oh, he killed himself." That's um we like I said, we had a case with them for 2 years, and Rashida is exhausting. If
I can only
anybody's ever,
imagine.
it is exhausting. You're dealing with them and dealing with people who just don't understand. Why aren't you? Why aren't you? We got criticism for not going immediately to the news, which is something I did want to do. But people forget my mom had just had a stroke. She had
Right.
two, and she was fighting for her life.
Right.
Uh, so we were thinking about her at the
And can I just ask you, because I want to make sure I'm clear, I understand. How long ago did this take place?
3 years now.
In 3 years. And how old was your brother?
He had just turned 25.
25. 3 years ago. The police is saying that he committed suicide, but none of this stuff is adding. And the thing that, just listening to you, um, what I don't understand is, if their theory is that he committed suicide, then why would they be uh, breaking into your mom's house, ransacking the house? Like, did they ever give like I don't understand that. It don't make any sense.
That's exactly, that was one of the most, there was several suspicious things going on, but that was one of the most suspicious things because it made no sense. They're saying that when they went to the neighbor, so they're saying they found him at the police station park and they went to do their research. Of course, his ID stuff was on the seat, so they found out where he lived. They knocked on the door and they heard my mom's dog barking. They said they went across the street and they did. And on this, when this documentary comes out, I'm going to speak to everybody. But the neighbor did say, he said, yes, they came and asked me, you know, what he knew. And he said, well, I don't know anything. He said, well, the car was just there yesterday. And they said, do you think that she would ever leave the dog alone? And he said, no, she loved that dog. But that to me is not enough. So supposedly they broke in the house because they were concerned about my mom and the dog.
Mm.
And, the neighbor didn't know she was at rehabilitation because we did, even though she wasn't there, there were constantly cars going out because me, my brother, my other brother, we would stop by the house. But I just don't believe. Okay, so you're concerned. Why are you ransacking? You should have seen my mother's house.
Yeah.
They broke my mother's door down. They went through all the papers were thrown all over the place. Furniture
Oh
was
my
knocked
God.
down. They were so disrespectful. And do you think that they offered to pay for any damage? I mean, they literally tore a door down, threw things around, knocked things over. They were looking for my
Wow.
brother's gun that he had a right to own.
Right.
But they
It,
needed to plant it in the car so they could say, oh, he committed suicide. That's honestly what I believe.
and you know what? I'm just thinking to myself as you're talking. I don't want to cut you off. I want you to keep talking. I
That's
just
okay.
can't think about the disrespect and the disregard for Black people that I have to say that the police has. It's just so disrespectful. I don't really hear you speaking about them showing compassion towards your mother, her situation, towards this young man that's 25 years old, that just lost his life. I don't really hear the compassion there. I hear blame. It's like blaming the victim and making things even worse.
That's boo. Oh, thank you, Faith. Tuber Faith Factor, sweetheart. Love you. Basically, that's what it was too. It was very disrespectful. I told you how the deputy came to my house and didn't say I'm sorry. It was like he didn't want to tell me what really happened. He was trying to, probably dig up some dirt, but there was no dirt to dig. And then they did this. They tore my mother's house up, broke stuff, knocked stuff over. They never apologized. They did not pay for anything that they damaged. They said that they were allowed to do it because they were concerned for my mother's safety. Um, I went through a fit of rage, and I think this might have been before you met me or before we became friends on Facebook, but I went through this fit of rage. And people who know me, they know that I'm not that type of person. But I give thanks to the Most High because it was Him that helped me get over my anger. But I went through a fit of rage where I wanted to just, every police officer that I saw, I just wanted to burn that place down to the ground. And I mean, I really did. Because you guys remember, like, this is not my child, but it's like my child. I've
Right.
been taking care of him since I was 13, babysitting him, bathing him. So, and I would go on these little escapades on Facebook about police brutality and stuff. And I still have that anger and that rage when I see it because it just shouldn't be so. It just should not be so. And instead of things getting better, it's getting worse. And I'm tired of the excuses. I'm tired of us making excuses.
Right.
I don't give a damn about a person's background. I really don't. I don't care about what they did 10 years ago I don't care. And the fact is, when we start nitpicking and we allow people to nitpick these type of things about our people, we're really a part of the problem.
Right.
And we've got to catch on that this is what they're doing. This is a part of the game to dismiss us and dehumanize us so nobody feels for us. And this
Right.
struggle that we're going through a struggle in this country. Oh, go ahead, sweetheart.
No. Go. I was just
I
agreeing
want,
with what you were saying.
so yes, back to the story. So, sorry, it's almost like I transmit myself mentally back to the
No, I
time.
understand. Take your time.
Well, so that was their reasoning. Um, when my brother picked up my older brother Nate, when he picked up my brother's car, like I said, the license, the registration, and the license to carry were all on the passenger side. Now they said that my brother shot himself. If my brother had shot himself, it would have most likely have been this way to the throughout the window. But when my brother picked up the car, all evidence pointed to it being shot in and going out. All the debris was towards the inside of the car instead of the outside. Everything was towards the passenger side instead of going outside. Also, when we went outside, we went to the police precinct where they said that it happened. Keep in mind, at this time, we didn't see the video. They took 2 years, Rashida, to let us see the video. These people that have nothing to hide. By the way, we have yet to get his cell phone. These people who have nothing to hide. I'll tell you about that later. But they gave us a cell phone that wasn't even the right cell phone. When I tell you that this has not been an easy road, it's not been an easy road. But basically, none of the evidence pointed to what they were saying. We went to the precinct. There was no glass, no blood in the spot that they said that he was. I literally went on foot, and I think my older brother did too, but I went on foot to all the local areas, local neighbors, the house that was across the street, just trying to see if anybody saw anything, heard any gunshots. Of course, to be honest, in a neighborhood like that, people don't want to speak. A few people said they thought they heard something, or they saw police, but nobody could tell me what happened. And then a lot of people, you know, in our community, they just don't want to talk about these things. They're afraid.
Do we have a picture of your brother?
I do. I can let you. I meant to go. I was trying to go to my mom's house because we have a really nice photo that I like in his, but I wasn't able to make it there. She went to church.
Okay.
But if
put it on the screen,
you can, if you type in Edward Christopher Freeman, it'll be the young man with the glasses and like a goatee.
okay.
Also, I actually have a video with him. But if you type it, however you want to do it, I have a video.
He got an afro?
Yes.
With like a suit on?
Yes, he was at. Yes.
He's a handsome young man. You mind if I put it on the screen because I want to honor his memory while you talking about him.
Thank you.
Wow.
It's hard for me to look at his picture, to be honest, but
if you don't want me to put it up, I won't.
I don't mind because I actually was trying to find a really nice. Okay.
Okay, let me I'm gonna share the screen in a few seconds here. I just want to pull it up I wish it was bigger. The picture is kind of small, but
I know. I saw the picture you're talking about, so I know. Yeah. Where was I at?
I just had a few questions that was running through my mind as you were speaking.
Yeah, please.
Interrupt you.
No. Please. Go ahead.
But why would they, any idea why they would wait 2 years to show you the video? What was the reason for that?
First, let me tell you about this video, honey. They tried to tell me, and my advice to all, especially, I'm just going to tell it how I see it, specifically African-American people. Everybody, before they get in their car, everybody, especially if you have children, boy or girl, everybody should have a camera in their car. That's him. Everybody should have a camera. But basically, at this time, cameras, I think maybe, he never had a camera in his car. They're claiming that there was no camera in that area, which is a lie. We found out later that was a lie. First, then they said that you couldn't see what was on the camera. We had to seek legal representation. We had a few lawyers quit.
Oh, wow.
Because they admittedly said that this is going to be something, because they work with the police department, that this is a conflict. It's not easy. That's what people do not understand. This is an uphill battle, but I'm going to continue to fight because I want to come out and I want to help other people.
Right. Wow.
Yeah,
Um,
that's him.
let me ask you a question. What's your theory on how he died? What do you and your family think on how he
I
passed?
and that's the thing. Like the police played games to where they tried to get us to question. Well, could it be possible that he did this and he did that? But see, I know this kid. I know this kid. I spoke to this kid on a regular basis. Me and my brother were close. So they could talk all the crap they want to talk. They can't convince me of who he was. I know who he was. But basically, I believe that it was possibly it looks as if it was a what do you call it, a routine traffic stop that went bad with all the stuff in the front seat. um I think maybe he went out, did smoke, so maybe he went to get cigarettes or something like that. I'm not sure. Like I said, the first part of the camera is cut off, so we're not sure what happened, like how he ended up in that area. That was very weird to me. Now, I did find out recently from my mom that there's a family friend that lived somewhat near that area, but still, it just doesn't explain because the time of morning, by the way, it happened at 1 a.m. And the only thing I could think of is that he was leaving to get cigarettes or something like that. But that's the thing, the area that it happened in, there was no reason. There's several gas stations, convenience stores near my mom's house. There was just no reason for him near that area. Rashida, if we got time, because I want to make sure I give one of his friends, two of his friends have texted me. Can I call one of his friends and see if they
Please
want to?
do. Take it away. It's your show. Take it away. Absolutely.
Okay.
I just want to real quickly say that I hope you get this to like one of the big TV shows that investigate um unsolved murders, because what this sounds like to me is an unsolved murder, and I'm hoping that you can get this on television. I think you said you're supposed to be going to possibly interview on Sonetta.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. But I would love to see you tell this story all over social media and get on like Dateline so that this could be solved. I would love to see that happen.
And I appreciate that. If he's available, he will call me back 'cause he just called me. They know what I'm doing. I told everybody that I could tell Rashida. I even did a promo video about us doing this interview. I've shared it to several people. So prayerfully, if they're not here now, they'll come through later. And I want to make sure that I tell you how much I appreciate this opportunity. I adore you as just
Oh,
as a YouTuber, but as a really, really sweet person. And I always tell people to judge people. Like the moment I met you, I just felt like you had a really huge heart, and this proves that you do because you have. There's nothing in this for you. Absolutely nothing. When you came on my show, there was nothing in it for you.
yeah, it
A
is
good,
something in it for me though. I disagree with you now. Tell you what's
but
in it for me. Black justice. I
yeah.
want to see black people get justice. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm very heartbroken over all the black men and women that have been murdered by the police. I literally can't get over it. Okay.
Hmm.
So your brother's story is a part of that. It's no different. And it's not right. It's not fair. And it sounds as if the police are not working hard enough, as is the case in a lot of deaths of black people. They don't work hard enough like they do white people or non-black people to solve the crime. They don't put an emphasis on it. It kind of reminds me, and I don't want to overtalk you. I want you to take this away. But I was thinking about your brother's story where there was I saw this on one of those news magazine shows. That's why I said I want this to get to a big mainstream level. Where there was a police officer that actually killed a black man. It was in St. Pete, and his family, they kept fighting and they kept going and they kept going. And this police officer was the one that he had done took him off somewhere in, like, in a secluded area. And he was the one that they had ended up suspecting of murdering this black. So this does happen.
Oh,
And
it does.
the story is
Oh,
important, and I am getting something out of it. And we all, because what you're doing is you shedding light on this by being brave enough to share your brother's story and his memory. And I appreciate you.
I really do appreciate you too. I want to add a couple things to this too. Um, uh, I just texted two of his friends. One of them said he's back at work. But if you know, I'm going to be talking about this more, and if ever you want to talk about it again,
Of
I will
course.
definitely. I've talked
Of
to them
course.
all. They're all willing to come up here and talk about it because no one feels at ease with this, and no one does that know him how they tried to slander him. So the first thing the coroner said was, "Oh, we think he committed suicide." And I'm thinking to myself, he had just gotten a new job. I literally just talked to him hours before this incident, and he seemed really happy. And then he said he was going to go to bed. So, like, the whole thing was just really weird. And like I said, the only thing I know my brother to really leave that time of morning for is like maybe cigarettes, you know. So it was just really awkward. None of it makes sense. Then come to find out, this supposed suicide note that they found was scripture. My mom is an ordained minister at a
Oh wow.
church. Yes, so she leaves, she tends to leave scripture. Like if I go over there, she'll put some scripture in my purse, like Psalms or whatever, and she'll say, read this. And so
Mhm.
what they found was Bible scripture in my brother's car in a Bible that my mom left, thinking it's suicide. Now, this is just how ignorant these people are. Um, so that was one thing. Then it became, oh, and see, before I was ignorant, I didn't realize how far they will go to besmirch and just drag a person down, but
Yep.
they are really willing to do any and everything. They
Yep.
will go so low.
So
Um, I mean, lower than you ever think that they would. So they've disrespected my mother's house. They won't pay for anything that they damaged. They never said they were sorry. Um, then you come at us with, oh, he committed suicide and here's the proof. You don't have any goddamn proof. You're an idiot. You're
mhm.
an absolute idiot and you're heartless and cold. The second thing they tried to do is, well, uh, we're going to need to do a drug test or whatever to make sure that he wasn't on drugs. And it came back that he was on medication. He was on medication
Mhm.
prescribed by a doctor.
Mhm.
And then, because we had a lot of support from family, friends, people in the community, um, and to prove so he had just gotten a job. The guy from the job from the shipyard came to the wake and told us, listen, if you ever need, because basically we had to scrounge up help to help pay for the funeral because insurance would not cover it if it's labeled a suicide. So they just put our family through
Oh
pure
wow.
hell. They put our family through pure hell, and they did not care. Um, so basically, he came to us and he said, "Listen, Chris had to take a drug test to get this job. We literally just drug tested him like a week ago, and he came back clean. So anything that they're talking about is bull crap. But this is what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just listening to you talk, man, it's so sad and it's so painful because the police, this country, they don't care about black people. They don't care um, when a black family loses a brother, a sister, a father. That to me is the most painful thing because, like you said, it's like where is your humanity at? Like everything that you described that they did in the aftermath. Your mom,
Yes, to cover it up.
she's in the hospital and sick. This is her son, her baby son, and you ramshack in the house. Like I said, I'm listening to everything you saying, and I'm waiting to hear a compassionate cop, a compassionate detective, to come in here and say, I want to really get down to the bottom of this. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, baby. let me tell you how non-compassionate they were. It gets worse. Because we just could not let this go. And like I said, if it was, I'm not going to get into that, but I really wanted to scream it from the mountaintops. I wanted to take it everywhere. But at the time, my mom was not well. And that's the only reason that
Yeah.
this didn't hit the news that very day. It was to protect her. But basically, they were so non-compassionate that when me and my brother went down there several days a week, constantly asking, can we have his stuff back? We were told for a whole year or a year, they kept all of my brother's things. They kept his phone. They kept his, uh, and we really wanted that phone because we believe if anything happened that my brother probably tried to call one of us. And I did have a missed call, but I don't think it was that time in the morning. It was like earlier. But like we believe the key to what happened to my brother is in that phone, and that's why they will not give it to us. Basically, we had to get legal representation to see the video. At first, I was pushing for my mom to see it, but after I saw it and I couldn't take it, I didn't think it was wise for her to see it. And my mom, to this day, has not seen it, but we told her about it. Didn't answer a damn thing because they cut off the first part of it. So basically all it showed was after he was shot and there was blood everywhere and debris everywhere. And the cops, the only thing it did prove was the cops, they also weren't doing what they're supposed to do. I believe the first thing you're supposed to do in a situation like that is try to like control the bleeding and get help. Everybody was standing around for the first freaking 5 minutes just looking and talking. And then they're talking, and then they were like yelling out, please don't move. Like literally you see him dead, lifeless, with blood going everywhere, and you're yelling out, don't move, don't move. Are you kidding me?
Wait a
All
minute.
this, all
I
this
hate cutting you off, but just let me just backtrack to what you just said. Now, it's supposed to be deemed a suicide.
right.
You're saying that the video that you saw with your, correct me if I'm wrong, they were yelling at him saying police don't move, and they saw a person that already appeared to be dead.
Right. That's right. That's as crazy as that sound, that's what they were doing. That's what they were yelling, don't move, don't move. So I'm gonna tell you, as somebody in the military who, has a little bit of experience with triage and things like that, and you probably know about it too, but for people who don't know, I'm going to tell you how this is supposed to go. Whether you work for the government, the state, or whoever you work for, all people who work in emergency type fields understand that the first thing you do is secure your environment. You don't step into a situation that you don't believe to be secure. So they were saying, they were right in saying, you could hear them yelling, like they were yelling things, don't move, as they were approaching the car, but you could tell he was already dead. He was laying there lifeless
Oh my God.
and bleeding, and his eyes were closed, but they kept on saying, don't move, don't move. Then one of them opened the door and he kind of slumbered out of the car, and he went to the ground. There was blood everywhere.
Oh
And
my
instead of
God.
them immediately, even if he was dead, do your job. Your job is
Right.
to try and to save him if you can. But instead of that, they're so busy trying to secure the scene, and this cop's over here and that cop's over there, and they're talking. Instead of somebody immediately go and try and control blood. I don't remember how long that video went on before a cop actually put some gloves on and tried to control blood. And then eventually, after about 15-20 minutes, the medics came and they took over. And the
So
video,
no cop tried to do CPR or anything like that?
they were not, it was like at least 7-8 minutes afterwards. It was so late. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, my older brother wanted to pursue a case after the statutes of limitations for any criminal case, is about 2 years, right? And so But however, let me tell you guys this. After the George Floyd situation, there's a new law. My aunt told me about it. There's a new law that's been put into place that if you believe you have a civil rights case, people, please listen to me. If you believe or you know of a situation where you believe somebody was done wrong by the police, killed by the police, or anything like that, it will be held up in court. You can bring these cases to the light due to all the injustices that have come to light. So don't believe that it's over. But my brother, basically, my older brother, wanted to sue the police, because we weren't trying to sue the police. We were just trying to get information out of them. They held on to all his stuff for a year. They fought us to jail. Like I said, we still, to this day, don't even have the right phone. They said that they held because it was under investigation. How the hell, excuse my French, but how is it under investigation and you guys are saying it's suicide? Which one is it? Is it a suicide or is it under investigation? That's what I'm saying, y'all.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. None of it did.
And that's why, if I may interject, I think y'all should file a lawsuit, criminal charges, as well as civil charges. I think you should revisit that.
And I'm gonna be honest, Rashida, that's what my older brother wants to do. I honestly, after the 2 years, when I tell you just the hell of reliving it, thinking about it, trying to piece together the details, I I personally didn't want to give up, but I just didn't want to fight with them. Because when I tell you it was a fight with them, it was a fight with them. And by the way, um, we believe that they were watching us. I have no proof of this, but there were suspicious cars that would sit outside my mom's house, drive by, just very suspicious things for a few months after my brother. Um,
Mm.
so, um, yeah,
Like I said, based on what I believe it was a murder. I mean,
that's what I believe too.
facts. I don't have all the details, but I'm listening to you and giving the history of how black people, particularly black men, especially, I don't trust. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't trust none of this stuff when it comes down to a black man. Okay, all that arguing that people be doing online with all this crazy carrying on, when it really come down to it, with you know what I'm talking about, with black men and black women going back and forth. Listen, I can put all that stuff aside. I don't trust when a black man gets murdered like this or is found killed like this. I don't trust it when it comes to a black man, because this country got a history going back to remember after the Reconstruction. Remember strange fruit? Strange fruit. You understand? This country got a history of strange fruits. Okay. I'm praying to God. I don't know, Tiffany, if you are willing to go on other people's channels and tell your story, but I believe that the more people that you go and tell this story, I mean, you got a powerful channel in and of itself. I love what you have going, but this part of you and your story is so important to the overall black struggle of what's going on, especially in this country right now. If you're willing to go and share your story with as many people across social media as possible, and as you're comfortable with, because it does have to be a respectful, comfortable level for you and your family first and foremost. But I hope that you would just revisit getting in contact with some lawyers. I don't know, even people like Benjamin Crump. I think we got a brother on here that's willing to bring you on his channel, Operation Exodus Mississippi. I hope that you get on Sonetta and tell this story, because like I said, just listening to you talk, I don't trust these folks, and I believe they murdered your brother.
I believe it too. And let me tell you something else. When I went on my rampage, at the time I was still in the military. I hadn't gotten out yet, and I was on my way out. But I got lots of warnings about how I should not be accusing the police of this. I got lots of from people that I never seen before. My Facebook page is public, but I thought, how strange that I'm getting all these sudden warnings about how I
Exactly.
need to. It was really strange and a little bit scary. But I agree with you, and I'm willing, Operation whoever, if you, I'm willing to go on anybody's channel. Now is the time. I'm tired of being quiet, and I'm able to get through this story without breaking down. So I feel like now is the time to talk. And I'm glad that you convinced me to do it, because I was going to try and wait to the documentary was done with his friends, and I was going to try and wait to the book so I had finished writing the book. But
Oh, well, can you? I'm glad you mentioned that because the people need to know. We need to build up to that. Can you
mhm.
please expound on that? The documentary, the book.
Yeah, so me and his friends, we got together, and they have agreed to do interviews just about telling about the type of person that he was, but also talking about up to this incident. And all of them have said that they don't believe it at all. Like I said, his best friend, who was in the military, who used to go to the range with my brother was almost a lot like me, a square. He would not carry his gun. He never took that gun out of the house, and he would never carry his gun in the car. It would always be, if they even went to the range, it would always be locked in a lockbox in the trunk. That's just how responsible he was. So this idea that he just had it in the car, and by the way, oh, this is what really did it for me. The 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 gun box was still, after they rant and raved and did all whatever they did. I believe they stole the gun. After they did that, where they fucked up was they left that box in my brother's closet. My brother was not irresponsible. My brother would never leave the house without putting his gun in that gun box. He would never do it. He
Hmm.
would never, ever do it. So that's why I say the lies that they told and all this stuff that they spin. Oh, we came in there because you worried about my mom. So why are you knocking over furniture and going through every little bit of paperwork you can go through? Why did you ransack my brother's room? Why did you go through his closet? You went through his closet.
Hmm.
You was looking for the damn gun. That's what you were doing, you devil.
Let me ask you a question. Have you preserved all of this evidence in somewhere and
I
organized
do.
fashion?
That's the thing, because it happened so many years ago. I'm gonna be honest. I have a lot of it. I still have, because I recorded the coroner and the things that she said and the inconsistencies that she. Um, I have that. I have. I still, of course, have the police report. We do not. We no longer. We actually donated his car to one of his good friends, who was willing to take the car, because we had the car for years in my mom's yard, and it was kind of depressing to look at with the window blown out and everything. So he remodeled it and
Oh, wow.
took real good care of it. So we don't have the car anymore as evidence. But I know my other brother. My other brother had a lot of evidence. My lawyer probably has a lot of the evidence. Who's a family friend of ours. But I just haven't reached back out to get it. But I do plan on reopening. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, Rashida. I don't know if I want to fight the police, because I believe what you're saying. Like, that's how my older brother feels. Like, we need to stick, like, get their asses lesson. And I do agree, but bottom of my soul, it's not about revenge. For me, it's about answers. Like, I just want answers, because I believe, this is the thing about me and my. I believe without a doubt that whoever did this, that they're going to pay. See, I believe in a greater power than human beings on the earth. And I believe that that person is going to pay one way or another, whether it's today or tomorrow, they're going to pay. So I have faith in that at least my brother will do justice that way. But I just want to know. And I think that Chris wants us to know.
You know, and I understand when you say I don't want to fight because that's that's the mentality of a lot of people because they've done so much to intimidate people and to use their force to oppress people. But if I can just encourage you, to fight on and hold on a little bit longer, because I believe that you can get victory. And if I could just kind of use this person as encouragement. I don't know if you know who the Carol Horn is.
No.
Um, Carol Horn is a police officer, a black female police officer, and I just came in contact with her story. I did not know who she was myself, but she is a black female police officer who lost her job over, I believe, in 2008, because there was a call that was made that her and apparently a white officer was sent out to. It was like a conflict going on between a black man and his girlfriend. Okay. And I just had to pull up her picture because I wanted to put a face to the name. Anyway, she's a police officer, and she's one of the good police officers. That's why I was listening, always hoping that I'm going to hear some good stuff, some good officers that actually care about black people. But this woman, she came out to the call and she saw the white officer choking the black man, and she stopped it. She said, "Hey, that's too much force." This is her right here. Too much force. And this is the black man. She saved his life by stopping the white police officer from choking him to death. And they fired her. They fired her. The white police officer also punched her in the face, and I believe he broke her nose. And nothing ever happened to him as a result, as well as they stripped her of her pension. You know, she lost everything. She had 5 kids she was taking care of, standing up for a black man. Like this lady, I remember when I watched the interview and she talked about wishing that she was around for George Floyd, to be a police officer there that would have stopped that. And it took her years. She lost appeals. She lost her case where they denied her pension. You know, they did not. She was fighting. I believe she probably had to sue the city. It was she was a police officer in Buffalo, but it took her 15 years, and she just kept fighting on. And this is what I love. I love it when a person. I'm just a fighter. I can't help it.
Go ahead.
You can look at her story and take any kind of courage and motivation from it, from this black woman right here that stood up and kept fighting in the face of losing everything, because she understood that, number one, she saved the life of a black man, and number two, she was treated unjustly and stripped of everything for saving a black life. She's a real hero. And so I just believe, and I know that your brother deserves justice, and I know it's hard. I know it's a fight. I know it is. But if you could just go back to the drawing table with your brother, and it sounds like you have support. You have my support. I'm willing to help you with whatever I can. You know, I'm sure that once you start sharing, people are going to want to reach out to help you as well, because you said you just want closure. You just want to know, and you deserve that, and your brother deserved that. So if you could just go back to the drawing table just one more time, contact some more lawyers, try to get a lawyer on it, and just go at it again.
Rashida, thank you, because I needed that, because basically it's been a battle. And to be honest, it's pretty much been our family against the police. But it got to the point where it became our success. Do we continue to fight, or do we let go? Do we continue to fight, or do we let go? And it started to break our family, not break us up, but it started to really put stress on us. And what you just said was motivation for me, because I think I just was at the point of just being worn down with it. But I appreciate this. I adore you. I just appreciate the opportunity, and I'll come over anytime you want me to. And you're always welcome over at my channel.
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to get more into. I wanted to talk about your other stuff that you're doing. I know we ran out of time here, but if I could just quickly just share your website and your channel. Can you just talk about this, the other stuff that you have going on? Because you got some great stories, great things that you are doing.
Okay, so that is my website. It is a website that me and my son built. I'm very proud of it. it's new. However, it's something that I've been working on for a while that it just hasn't been online. But my son is on the autistic spectrum. And so we haven't, like I said, it's still a very new thing, but we are basically making plans to donate a certain amount of our proceeds to supporting autistic families. I am already a sponsor for families with autism. Like I said, because my son is autistic, we have been sponsors now for about 2 or 3 years. And if you slow down, Rashida, the Black Families Matters, those shirts are actually designs that me and him came up with. Kind of like
Oh
just
wow.
basically, my whole emphasis was us keeping the Black family together, like, because it's an epidemic out here with us. But
I love it. Look at that,
yeah,
y'all.
I just thought it
Now,
was
y'all
cute.
go get these t-shirts. Come on out. I love that.
And I will say this, and I've told all my friends and family, if you message or reach out to me in any type of way, I can get you deals. Just trust me. I will be at the Juneteenth down here in Charleston, South Carolina. I will be at that event, selling Black Lives Matter and some of my other t-shirts and some other things. I will share it with you, Rashida. I shared it on my show. I'm gonna share it with you, some of the things that they can expect to see. Also, but basically, I want you guys to know it's for a good cause. It's to help support autism. I'm gonna show you one thing, Rashida. Is that okay?
Oh, go right ahead. Whatever you want to do. Absolutely. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh, no, I shared these things on my channel, but I figured, I'm over here. I'd share them with you. When I was in college, I started making soaps and candles and bath salts and bath bombs. They call me.
Go right ahead. Go share whatever you want to share.
I don't know if they can see it, but basically these are, if you're here locally in town, we'll have some of these homemade soaps and candles. This is a natural one. It's a charcoal and goat's milk soap. It's absolutely natural. It's a good soap.
Look at
I
that.
have coffee soap, oatmeal soap, and then I'll show you one more thing that I'll be selling at the Juneteenth event.
Can people that are not in your city, can they get these products like with your church? Can they buy it online? Is there a way to get it that way? I'm so sorry, I can't hear you.
I'm coming, Rashida. Rashida, I'm coming, boo.
Okay.
This is also like a really popular one that people seem to like. It's got like the African print thing. Um, I'll review it again on my show, but basically on my website, it's like, I think it's $30. But if you reach out to me, I can give it to you for like 20. Um, oh, you were asking about people. Is there a way? So yeah, this is one of the items. See if you can. Oh, right there. You see the red one? Go back. You see that back a little bit more? Right there. That's what this is. This is just the color white.
Okay. Okay.
And so you can see it. But if you guys like, because you guys are YouTube family, like if you reach out to me, I can lower the price. It's really good quality. I'm proud of the stuff that I sell. I don't sell anything that's garbage. And it's not overpriced. But
Yeah, I like it. I like
thank you so
a lot of the
much.
stuff I see. I like the t-shirts.
Thank you. And I will say this,
Love
the
it.
website is relatively new, so I'm just going to tell you the truth. I still have to finish the about me page and stuff like that.
That's
That
okay.
yeah, it's
It's
not
coming
done.
along though. It's coming
Yeah.
along.
Well,
And
thank you guys.
we gotta support it. We gotta support this sister. Can you talk about your YouTube channel and how
Oh,
people can
Mahogany
subscribe
Woods
and support you?
MJ. Yes, it's just like my name. Like I said, I started it because it was suggested by our therapist. My son and I were going through a horrible depression after this. And he was like, is there a way you guys could tell the story, talk about it? Well, I tried to, and I couldn't get through it. I would break down and cry. So I started doing other things. Started doing workout videos. And there's actually a video, Rashida, with my brother in it. I don't know if I know you got to go, but if you go to my YouTube page and you scroll way down beginning. He's actually in one of my videos. He was my
Let me see if I can find it here. Just give me a second.
sure. I would like that.
Let me see. I gotta go back to your. And by the way, guys, if y'all look in the description to this live, you're gonna see Tiffany's channel, Mahogany Roots and MJ, and I'm about to pull it up now. And you're also gonna see her website. It's all in the description to this live, and I have been placing it in the chat box the entire time. So make sure y'all go and subscribe to her channel. And let's see. I'm gonna go to the videos here. I'm gonna screen share again, and then you can kind of tell me where I need to go. To give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna share the screen again.
All right, let's see.
Okay. And make sure y'all go to the website and support.
Yeah, and like I said, I can lower the just contact me. So when you go to videos, if you just scroll, it's way like in the beginning, way down there.
Okay, so while I'm scrolling, y'all make sure y'all go and subscribe. Okay,
keep on going. Oh. It is. Do you see anything about dental hygiene school? Let me see.
dental hygiene school.
Is that the one with me in the coat? Can
Okay,
you
let's
go back down?
slowly.
I was in a blue coat.
A blue coat.
Right there in school.
That one.
I think that's the one he's in. If you click on it, I think that's him. I'm not sure.
Let's see if I can.
In there somewhere. He was my patient. There he is.
Oh, we found it. Look at God. That was God. I love it. Okay.
Yes. I was
but I'll let it play.
Oh,
he's so handsome.
Yeah, he had
I'm
came
so
to
sorry. Wow. I know
and you know what? Oh, go ahead, sweetie.
No,
it's little things.
You miss your brother.
It's little things that trigger me. Like I still have, because he had asked me to make him a tooth bleaching tray, and I still have his. I cannot get rid of the tray. I can't get rid of anything that he gave me. I have everything, but he was one of my patients when I was in school.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, in this video, we were doing impressions to whiten his teeth.
Wow.
Well, anyway, I'm going to go, Rashida. I know you have things to do, but I appreciate you so much.
Of course. I just want to close out with telling everybody to please go and subscribe to our sister's channel. It's right here, Mahogany Roots and MJ. Make sure y'all go to her website and support the products there. And as y'all heard, if you want to interview her about her brother's death, because she needs closure, the family needs closure, and your brother needs justice. He needs justice. So please reach out. How can people contact you before we go? That's the last thing.
Yeah, I respond. Well, you can contact me at Mahogany MJ, just like it's spelled on my channel, at gmail.com. I honestly, or you can even, my name is Tiffany Coaxum. I do not mind. You can find me on Facebook that way. What else? Also, there's a section when you go to the website, like where you can actually message us. That I am CEO, so I'll get the message. You tell me a product that you're interested in, and I'll make a deal for you. You have my word on that. Yeah, there's a contact and there's a subscription page. Just to let you guys know, when you subscribe, like I don't see any of your personal information. All that means is whenever I make changes to the channel, you guys will get updates. And I do change things. Like if I add this to the channel, you guys will see that, oh, this is going on sale. That's all it means. I won't get any of your personal information. Also, we talked about my brother's picture. When you Google Edward Christopher Freeman, let me just say this. Do not donate to anybody claiming that, because we had, during this time, we had a GoFundMe that's no longer up. So if anybody's asking for any money, because I was surprised that he was even on Google, but if anybody's asking for any money or ways to buy flowers or whatever, that is not us. If you want to do that, you can, contact me or my family. But that what Google got going on, because I see when I clicked on it, it was attached to somebody's website about ordering flowers, and I did not like that.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. Well, please support our sister in getting justice. So I want to thank you. I appreciate you for coming on. My heart goes out to you. I'm so happy you shared the story. And I just want to say justice for all the Black men and women whose lives have been taken by this unjust system. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm really fighting for at the end of the day. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you soon, okay?
All right. Bye bye. Bye bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Gotta go. All right. Bye bye.